Let's start right at the top with Robbo. Milan, they're playing Lazio. They've been on this incredible run of unbeaten run. It feels like a trap game because Lazio can be very, very dangerous, as they've shown. They go 2-0 down. Everything's fine. Everything's even better. They do this without the starting midfield. No Benacer, no Frank Kessie, no Kerr at the back, no Ibrahimovic up front. And then Lazio pegged them back to 2-2. And so I'm thinking to myself, this is where the wheels come off. It's hard. But no, they keep going. They create even better chances. And they score a winner with Theo Hernandez. Robbo, what does this do to a team's confidence, especially young players, when they show that ability to come back in the face of adversity?
It does a lot for their confidence because, as you just mentioned, it looks as though the wheels were going to come off, having been 2-0 up and then pegged back. And they were outplayed. There's no question about it. Lazio were the better team for much of the game, and it looked as though Milan were hanging on. I think Inzaghi helped Milan because he made a couple of strange substitutions, but it does a great deal of benefit for their confidence going forward. It means that even when they play poorly, which they did last night for long periods of the game, they still know how to stay in a game. And they still had that little bit of energy at the end. I think going into the games after Christmas, this will build up their confidence. They go into it thinking that they can go and win the title.
Theo Hernandez came good again. Man, remember when he scored against Parma to get a draw at the last minute again, and they're still unbeaten. And again, the goal last night. I mean, he's a left back, but a very attacking left back. But
he also defends too. He's a physical beast.
Robbo, have you been surprised? I mean, last season he was probably Milan's best player already with Ibra and had a really good season. But maybe consistency was missing before when he was in Spain, for example. Are you surprised of the level that he's been playing at? And is he the best Hernandez right now in world football? And is he maybe the best left back in world football?
On recent performances, he's been absolutely outstanding. One of the best left backs in the world. I would say he's right up there at the moment. Last year, when I watched him, I'd always say how good he was going forward. You could guarantee that he'd get crosses in. He's got good pace going forward. I always questioned his quality defending. He got played around too easily. He didn't seem to have a good game understanding. But suddenly, that's changed this season. There was a moment in the game last night when he got back against Lazio. He was very, very quick. He got back, got into a good defensive position, dealt with it, and you thought, now this is a top-class defender. And then it wasn't just his header in the last minute. He got forward many, many times, got crosses in. He also delivered the cross where Rebic had the shot when Pepe Reina made the save just before he scored. So he still showed great energy towards the end of the game. He was still the fittest player on the field, I would say, but not just for Milan, but also for Lazio. I thought he was outstanding, and he is one of the best left-backs in the world. I can't think of too many that would do as good a job as he's doing at the moment.
Did you see the celebration? I think he's looking for the call from Deschamps, isn't he? He's waiting for the goal.
That's what it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have a couple decent French left-backs in the mix, to be fair. Yeah. Robbo, I was struck by the fact, I mean, you said Lazio were the better team for much of the game. I'm not sure I'd quite go that far personally, but in the end, Lazio's goals, one comes off the Immobile penalty miss, which wouldn't have happened if Donnarumma hadn't spilled the ball before that to lead to the corner, which led to the penalty, which should never have been given as a penalty because that was a nonsense call. The other one, though, is Ciro Immobile's finish. If you haven't seen this, it's a tremendous pass from Milinkovic-Savic. Yeah. The ball is dropping out of the air, and he side foots it with power. And I think you said in commentary that most players would have smashed it.
I think most players would have tried to go with their laces because what happened, when Milinkovic-Savic clips the ball over the top, it's not just up and down, there's a load of spin on the ball as well. And I think most players would go with it and try and hit it full with their laces and try and hit it with power because not too many players would have been able to make the right contact and got the timing of the ball, of the kick right. And he got it on the inside of his foot and he got enough power to take it past Donnarumma. Yes, Donnarumma got a touch to it, but I thought that was an expert finish, something that many strikers, and I would say, and I honestly say this, 8 times out of 10, players would have missed that chance. I think that was a brilliant goal from Immobile. Yes, a lovely pass, but he had to do a lot of work to get it into that bottom corner.
Last week on the FC show, I suggested that it was a 4-way race for the title with the 2 Milan clubs, obviously Inter winning as well, Juventus and Napoli.
Now you're not sure now.
Well, no, I want to point out, all the Muppets laughed at me. Napoli, right? Yeah, you ain't laughing now, are you?
Well, the Napoli who drew with Torino, scoring at the last minute to get a point.
The Napoli who's got a game in hand now against Juve, and we'll get to that later. Juve, by the way, losing. Roma up to third in Serie A. Robbo, It's wide open. I know you hate predictions probably as much as I do, but I got to ask you. Well, let's all chip in, right? It's the holiday season. Who's your pick as of right now? And you're allowed to modify this because when facts change, opinions change.
Well, I watched both games last night. I was commentating on one and watched the other one beforehand. And I was impressed with the way Inter played. There was something about them. They got it into the front play. He changed the system slightly by playing Perisic and Martinez in behind Lukaku. They got there, particularly Hakimi played excellently down the right-hand side. I thought there was an energy about their defending. I thought they defended with determination. Handanovic made a mistake for the goal. But just looking at that Inter side last night, that's what I expected from Inter when Antonio Conte took over. And if they can continue to play that way,
that's exciting.
I think they will win the league.
All right, he says Inter. What's your choice?
No European competition.
Yeah,
it's huge.
We've heard all this before.
But still, that's huge. For me, I go Milan because I'm a romantic.
Oh, that would be. Would it be romantic? Hedge funds owning football club? No, I'm just kidding. It's kidding. That would be an absolutely tremendous story.
Who's your choice?
I am so much on the fence, but hey, I introduced this topic, so I'm going to stick with Napoli for another week, despite the points drop, because I think the players that are set to come back for Napoli can make more of a difference to them than the returning players for any other club in Serie A. But hey, any week, as I said, intelligent people. When facts change, opinions change.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.